Hello everybody, how are you? I'm back, happy to see you. I'm David Perry. I'm the owner and founder of Diana Darby Model Management. And as I've often explained to all my wonderful viewers out there, my 10 viewers, no, I'm just joking. But as I explained before in the past, I'm a model coach. I do runway, I do posing, coaching with aspiring and professional models. I also have a model development program, which is what we're going to be concentrating on speaking about today. I have a young aspiring model, well, not aspiring, she's trying to get back into the game, which is what the portfolio workshop development program is all about. But as I said before, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on that part of the Diana Darby Model Management Model Development Program. As I said before, that program consists of runway and posing classes. And you have seen me demonstrate those with several models and several students from my class. And as I said before, if you sign up for the full model development program, which I will explain about that later as well, that is where the portfolio builders portion or session comes in, which is what we're going to be doing. You take the runway and posing classes, and after that, you conclude your development program with the portfolio builders session. And as I said before, we're going to be dealing with that. But I'm going to be demonstrating you what that consists of when students are finally concluding the program by doing the portfolio builders session. You will be doing a photo shoot. You will have a fashion stylist, professional photographer, and you will be posing for at least 5 pictures, 5 high-resolution glossy images to start out your portfolio. One will be a commercial image, another one will be a catalog image, another one will be a high fashion image, another one will be an editorial image, and then you will have a headshot image as well. You will also be provided a model comp card to start off with. The importance of that part of the program is that when you are beginning to enter into the industry and you're getting ready to start out, you have to have a portfolio. You have to have a headshot. You have to have a comp card. You learn techniques about that, the type of posing for the type of shoot. Is it commercial, catalog? Is it high fashion and editorial? How do you begin to start figuring out a posing routine for a photo shoot? How do you begin to start learning how to pose in a certain way depending on the photo shoot, the clothes, the client? What is it all about? You know, all sorts of things we go over in our posing classes. Then after we have finished our introductory and our advanced runway and posing classes, that's where the portfolio builder session comes in, which, as I keep saying, I'm going to get into eventually at some point, but that's where the portfolio builder session comes in, where we go over have a real live photo shoot, go over everything we've learned, but mainly from the posing class, and start to build your portfolio so that we can get you out there in the real world of modeling, so you can start getting some work, so you can put all of these classes to use. Commercial, catalog, high fashion, editorial, and we do a headshot pose. What I'm about to demonstrate right now is the catalog posing. With catalog, it is basically mostly about the clothes. That's the best way I can put it. So your posing needs to be simple, and it needs to adhere to the outfit. For example, I'm dressed in what is fashionably called in our world the LBD, the little black dress. I have my cute little hand purse furnished or provided by Cleopatra Couture. Hey girl, shout out, how you doing, Cleopatra Couture? But as I was saying, usually with catalogs, it is about showing the clothes. It is about simple posing. It is generally not about editorial or high fashion. It is about ready to wear, off the rack. Sometimes it's usually about those, I'll continue to do some posing while I'm explaining. Sometimes you ever notice those inserts in the Sunday newspaper, especially in your style section, look section, whatever might be the fashion section. There's usually an insert in there from the stores. Like, for example, Target, there's usually an insert in there for their sales. And you'll see there's pictures, model, picture, model, picture. That's generally catalog. Also catalog is the J. Crew catalog you get in the mail, your mail order catalogs. That's another example of catalog work. As I said before, usually with catalog, it's about showing the clothes and the product. There's usually not a lot of extravagant posing. There might be the simple walking pose. The next posing technique that I will be demonstrating for you is the commercial pose. Before I get started, I'll explain a few things. With the commercial pose, maybe even show you a few. With the commercial pose, it's still all about just showing the clothing, but with commercial posing, there's a little bit of allowance for what I like to say posing experimentation, meaning you can go a little bit more stronger with it, okay? But you also need to remember, as I keep saying, you have to stick to the fact that it's about the clothing, and that's what commercial modeling is all about. So your poses have to adhere to showing off the clothing, but you can do a little bit more as opposed to catalog, which is usually very straight on, very simple, because as I said before, with catalog and commercial, it's more for a mainstream audience. So that's why, another reason why the modeling can't turn the consumer off. They don't want a lot of what usually is considered editorial. Okay? And we're gonna go over those too as well. Even something like this might be a little too much. Okay? A little too much. But with commercial, it's all about showing the clothes, but your posing can be a little bit more, show a little bit more movement. So you may not see a lot of the clothing presented in commercial modeling, but depending on the styling, depending on the market, depending on the client, they could very well, this could very well be in a commercial pose, commercial photo shoot. Get a little bit, there's also angles, the ability to do a little few more angles too as well, if you noticed. But still, it's got to be sharp and simple. Sharp and basic, but presentable, okay? Hello everyone, and I'm back. The next posing technique that we're going to go over and that I'm going to demonstrate for you is the editorial pose. And I'm starting out this way to give you an example of the editorial pose. Usually editorial posing, editorial modeling is a little bit more stylized. It is very much about getting into strong presentational poses. But as I always want to keep stressing and reiterating, it is also about always remembering to show off the clothing. You usually find editorial in the more glossy fashion magazines, particularly, you know, like Vogue, Harper's Bazaar. But, and that's why sometimes the posing is a little bit more, got a little bit more movement to it. It's a little bit more avant-garde. Sometimes it looks like it's not even about the clothing at all. Sometimes the viewer, you're looking like you're just basically looking at a fabulous fierce pose that the model is doing. But trust and believe, this model is still trying to figure out a way to present the clothing that the client movement pose. You know, a lot of facial expressions. Sometimes not looking directly at the camera like with catalog posing, and there's a lot of eye contact with the camera. Same with catalog and commercial posing, there's a lot of eye contact with the camera. Editorial, sometimes the eye contact might be threatening. With editorial, it's an opportunity to try different posing movement. Maybe even different things with your accessories, if you can kind of get away with it. Be aware of your props. Be aware of your clothing. Be aware of your accessories. As I said before, pose like you took them out of your closet. as if you've been wearing them for a while. Step, step, click. My final pose technique, takes practice. I'm going to demonstrate high fashion. High fashion, once again, usually those posing images you'll see in the glossy magazines such as Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, Elle, those magazines. Those you will find a lot of the high fashion posing, high fashion modeling. The trick to high fashion modeling, the best way I can say, is think Vogue. Y'all know what that is. Voguing, Vogue by Madonna, Deep in Vogue, all of those songs that celebrate the movement, choreography, and beauty of Vogue. Over the top. This is more lending itself. That's where, well, basically, voguing stems itself from. But that's what you would consider high fashion. It's more about posture, alignment in the body. There's not a lot of slouching going on. For example, even in sitting in chairs, there seems to be a poshness about it. Okay? Doesn't seem to be a lot of that you might find. Even this, it would be more, even if it looks relaxed, there's a regalness about it. Speaking of high fashion, here's high fashion for your nerves. The top is by Valentino. The pants are by Chloe. The belt from my closet. But it's still high fashion for your nerves. Bri, for example, speaking of high fashion, this is what we're going to do. I was just demonstrating to the students out there that the pose that I just did was high fashion. I would like to see you demonstrate a high fashion pose. What I showed them with high fashion, could you step over there for a second? Let's keep our social distancing. I'm gonna move this out of the way for a second, but we may be using that. What I described as high fashion is think Vogue, okay? Not so much voguing, but Vogue, Vogue, Vogue. It's all about kind of an attitude. You cannot afford this. You might be able to try, but I'll show it off for you anyway. That's the attitude, okay? That's what I would like to see you try with high fashion. Show you a few more. Remember?
So would this be something I would do at the end of a runway or a photo shoot?
No, this is something you'll be doing for a photo shoot. Always try to give them a sense of aspiration. But high fashion, it's about tension, tightness, control, tension, tightness, control, confidence, okay? You don't need to be looking at the clothing so much. You should already know what they look like and what they feel. It should be more about the pose. Commercial. High fashion is, you need to pose like that outfit costs $10,000, okay? Good. Next time, be careful. Look in the mirror. You got lots of mirrors, so when you did this, so you scrunched it up a little bit. Yes. Try to figure out a way to pose with that outfit. Yes. Try to figure out a way to pose wearing it. Okay. Maybe you might need to be down here more. Maybe you just need to roll up your shoulders more. You know. Maybe the posing needs to be from down here. Okay. The other thing I need for you to concentrate on is tightening. Okay. You know. Yes. Good. Good. I was going to say change those hands. Usually with a headshot, real quick, it's going to be up here. So you need to be wearing something pleasant. So it can, so it doesn't conflict with you in the picture, but that it's part of the picture, it complements your picture. Are we going, remember, it's right up here. Are we going pageantry? Are we going commercial and editorial? Are we trying to get high fashion? Are we getting experimental? Are we using this? Think about your different type of clients. Are we trying to think magazines? You should know what you think you want to do. Although sometimes with the headshot photography, the photographer will already be, have an idea, will be giving you instructions. But for the most part, if it's something about variation, start figuring things out. But for the most part, headshot is usually about marketing to the client. So it will be a lot of them. Varying from smiling to not smiling, okay? Remember the chin, lift it up. Good. Good. Yes. There you go. That's what I mean. Try different ones. That's it. Good. Do me a favor. Give me one going like this. So you might have to turn all the way around and snap back to that camera. Turn away from it, snap back into, there you go. Try that a couple times, because the reason why I asked for that pose is because of that outfit. You know, it seems to be all about shoulder action happening. So lift that shoulder up to your chin and give me a back. There you go. So you can try those, all right? Now, of what to expect from that, but I would really like to do a part 2. Is that okay if we could do that again, Jeffrey? Great, thank you. And Bri, you think you'll be available to come in for that? Okay, because I really want her to be involved in the posing. I really want to use her as an example. You've already seen my demonstrations, so now we can really just be concentrating on you next time this thing.